Hey there, ever heard this noise before? Well, there's good news. For about 30 bucks and an hour of your time, you could fix it. The product you're looking for is called Squeak No More. Now, some hardware stores might slap a different label on it, but don't worry, it'll look exactly the same. Whether you got carpet, hardwood, or softwood floors, this little wonder does the job. Now, let's dive into what's inside this kit. You'll discover a carpet adapter, a hardwood and softwood adapter, some specially scored screws, also a handy drive bit, and a joist finder screw, which, as you'll see later in the video, is going to be very handy to have. Begin by sticking a piece of tape in the area where you can hear the floor squeaking. Gradually work your way around the tape, giving it a little squeak test session. Now do your best to estimate where the worst section is and move the tape to that spot. The tape is going to be very helpful in determining where to drive the screws in the floor. The next step is a very important one if you don't want to end up with a bunch of holes in your floors. You need to find a joist. A standard stud finder will not work. Maybe a more sophisticated one might be able to do the job, but I reckon a tool like that is not something everyone has in their toolkit. So we need to find a cheaper way. Your best bet is to look for any floor registers or returns, and if those are not available, a floor outlet will be helpful too. Why floor registers or returns? Because they're always placed in between joists. Most homes have joists spaced apart 16 inches on center, so if you're able to identify one, you should be able to identify all of them. In my case, the floor return is 72 inches from the wall, minus maybe half an inch. That leaves me with a joist located somewhere between 69.5 and 72 inches from the wall. Since a joist is 1.5 inches, that leaves me with about 1 inch of trial and error. My initial measurements led me to believe that the joist is closer to the 72 inches. Therefore, I'll drill at about 71.25 first to attempt to find the joist. I'm using the joist finder screw from the Squeak No More kit, and what I'm looking for is that once the screw is past 2 inches into the floor, there's resistance when unscrewing. Unfortunately, my measurements were slightly wrong because I missed the joist. But no worries, since I'll plug it back with wood putty. I mentioned earlier that my trial and error was about 1 inch, so I'm going to drill another pilot hole, this time about 3/4 to the right. When driving the joist finder screw, I'm noticing resistance going down right away and also when backing out. I would call this success. Now it's time to drive the first scored screw into the floor. This is a pretty simple step. Put some weight on the floor by standing next to the pilot hole you just drilled. Then using the hardwood floor adapter, drive the score screw into the floor. Once the screw hits the adapter, it will snap with a pretty obvious sound. The screw will leave a 1/8 to 3/16 deep hole, which is perfect for filling with wood putty and also does not interfere with any floor refinishing that can be done later. Repeat the process of finding the joist and driving these special screws into the floors until you are satisfied with the results. Make sure to test for squeaks after each screw you drive in. Now we're ready to fill in the holes left by the screws. I'm using this Minwax wood putty, but any putty that matches your hardwood floors colors will do. Just make sure to not use wood filler. I've previously purchased some wood putty for a different project, so I will attempt to see if I can use it. As you can see, the one on the right seems to be closer to what I need, so I will give that a try. Mix the putty with your hands until it becomes smooth. Then just get it in the holes, making sure to put some pressure so that it goes all the way down. You might be able to get a better result by using a putty knife, but that's not required. If you have holes that you've made in your attempt to find the joists and they don't have a screw in it, you will need to prep them first before filling them with putty. Get a wood dowel or a piece of wood, shave it a little until it can get into the hole and drive it in there, leaving a 1/8 to 3/16 deep hole. Then fill the holes with putty. I felt like the color that I was using was not matching really well to my floors, so I took a trip to Lowe's to get a lighter colored wood putty. This time I will combine the two colors and do some trial and error until I get the color that I like. To be honest, the holes are barely visible while standing, so getting the colors to perfectly match will not really matter. I'm pretty happy with the end result, even if I was not able to completely get rid of all the squeaks. The nasty spot where the squeaking was horrible is gone, and I'm only left with just a little bit of noise, which for an older house with hardwood floors is quite hard to get rid of. Here's some before and after testing. If you enjoyed the video, please click that like button and subscribe for more DIY content. Thank you.